Hello, I'm John Deal. This is question time, February 1st, 2010, for Poli 120, State and Local Government at Bucks County Community College. Most of the questions that came in this past week had to do with the difficulty of the first critique. And I have to tell you, in all honesty, that's probably the toughest one you'll have to do in this course. And it's probably a graduate level reading as far as that goes. And so I'm not surprised that some of you were very concerned about that. I think, though, as a rule, the class did very well, considering the difficulty. Some of the people who were concerned: Doug Johnson, Dawn Garris, Amber Thomas, Jamie Bates, Roberta Tate. All of you wrote into me and said, wow, what's going on here? This is pretty tough. Anybody have trouble in our first paper? Some people said it took them 2 or 3 readings, sometimes a couple hours to do it. No, you're not losing it, and that's not unusual. It was a pretty tough article to handle. But I think that getting this one out of the way, you should be able to enjoy the ones we have in the future a lot more. They're a lot simpler and a little less sophisticated, some of them, so I'll be looking for you to add connections that will add the sophistication to it. So I hope everybody has a little bit more of a comfort level after getting their grades back on the critique section of the paper. Another question we had for the question time for this week was from James O'Neill, and he wanted to know about if anyone had seen anything in the news that was helpful in this course. And I would like to recommend to everybody, governing.com is an excellent website. It gives you the updates on what's going on in the state and local level. It's a clearinghouse for all the news all over the United States about state and local government. Governing.com, and you can go to that for a lot of your connections. And while I'm talking about that, in the critiques, if you just Google some of the subjects that are in the articles, you should be able to use websites as part of your connections for your critiques. Megan Nahill wanted to know why businesses are fined for hiring illegal immigrants if we can't even secure our borders. Pardon me. And I think the logic behind that is that if the word gets back to Mexico that the law is being enforced and people are being sent back, that fewer people will attempt to cross the border. At least that's the theory anyway. We'll see what happens with immigration reform, and of course some states are more radically affected by this than others, and you'll see that in our course of study we'll be working with that in the future. Jamie Bates had a good question about the statistics and all the detail that's in the textbook, and by golly, it really is pretty thorough. It's impossible for anyone to learn all those statistics in the time that we have. So basically they're there as an illustration to make main points. So you want to try to decide what is the main point being made in this chapter or this section of the chapter or this section of the book, and the statistics help you understand that. I would pay attention to Pennsylvania's statistics whenever the states are compared to give you an idea of how the state is doing, and you'll get a general knowledge that will help you in the other work that you're doing. I wouldn't spend hours and hours trying to memorize all these statistics. I would take time to look at them and let it sink in as to what the main points are, what they really are about, what they mean. That's really why all that is there. It's the general idea that we're looking for here. So when you're taking notes, don't start writing down all those statistics. That's not going to be helpful, I don't think. Unless you're using it for a paper or for connections for one of the articles, then you might want to go into more specifics. I'm going to respond to other folks in emails. Some of the questions were repetitive. What I'm looking for here this week for your question time question is something about the concepts in the book, topic of study in the course. I'm not looking so much for the mechanical questions. They would be in for the good of the cause in that blog there. Question time is for understanding of the course work and what is in the book and what's in the articles. The ideas is what we're looking for questions about. So if you don't understand something or if you want more detail, this is the place to give that every week. And I'll be looking for everybody's questions. Everybody should try to have at least one for me at some point this week on the work that you're doing in the textbook. So, let me know how you're doing. You see what my office hours are, and I look forward to hearing from everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.